Hi, my name is Dane Bishop, and between late December 2025 and early 2026, severe flooding impacted several countries in southern Africa, including Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. Heavy rainfall caused rivers to overflow, flooding homes, infrastructure, and farmland. According to the World Health Organization, approximately 1.3 million people were affected, and many were displaced or lost access to clean water and healthcare. This environmental disaster is important not only because of its immediate destruction, but because it shows how environmental systems and human systems are interconnected. The floods illustrate major themes in environmental science and demonstrate how environmental systems can change suddenly and how human communities must respond and recover. These floods were caused by unusually intense and prolonged rainfall, which overwhelmed rivers and drainage systems. Entire communities were submerged, and many people were forced to evacuate their homes. Roads and bridges were destroyed, making it difficult for emergency responders to deliver aid. Agriculture was also severely affected, destroying crops and threatening food security. Floodwaters also contaminated drinking water supplies, increasing the risk of disease outbreaks. According to the United Nations Population Fund, this created a humanitarian crisis as people faced not only displacement, but also increased health risks and limited access to basic necessities, such as clean water and medical care. One of the major themes in environmental science is that Earth's systems are interconnected. The atmosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, and human systems all interact and influence each other. This flood is a clear example of that interconnectedness. Changes in the atmosphere, specifically increased rainfall, affected the hydrosphere by causing rivers to overflow. This then impacted human systems by destroying infrastructure, displacing populations, and threatening public health. This demonstrates how humans depend on stable environmental systems for survival. Another important theme is that environmental change can directly impact human societies. When environmental systems are disrupted, the effects can cascade through human systems. In this case, atmospheric changes led to flooding, which then affected housing, agriculture, water supply, and healthcare. This shows that environmental science is not just about nature, but also about how environmental processes affect human life. The flooding was influenced by both natural climate variability and long-term climate change. One key factor was La Niña, a climate pattern that increases rainfall in southern Africa. La Niña alters atmospheric circulation, bringing more moisture into the region and increasing precipitation. Climate change also played an important role. As global temperatures rise, the atmosphere can hold more water vapor. This leads to more intense rainfall events, which increases the risk of flooding. Scientists at World Weather Attribution have found that climate change made these floods more severe and more likely to occur. This demonstrates how changes in one environmental system, the atmosphere, can disrupt other systems, including water systems and human infrastructure. It shows the complex interactions between natural systems and human societies. This flood also illustrates the concept of system change and resilience. Environmental systems can change suddenly, especially during extreme events like heavy rainfall. These sudden changes can disrupt both natural and human systems. Resilience refers to the ability of a system to resist damage and recover after a disturbance. Some communities are more resilient than others. Communities with strong infrastructure, effective emergency response systems, and access to healthcare are better able to recover. However, vulnerable communities with limited infrastructure and resources are less resilient. In southern Africa, many communities were highly vulnerable, which increased the severity of the disaster and slowed recovery. This shows how resilience plays a critical role in determining how systems respond to environmental change. In conclusion, the Southern Africa floods demonstrate the interconnected nature of environmental systems and human systems. This event illustrates major themes in environmental science, including system interaction and human dependence on environmental stability. It also demonstrates system change and resilience, showing how environmental disturbances can disrupt human societies and how recovery depends on resilience. As climate change continues to increase the frequency and severity of extreme weather events, Understanding these environmental concepts will be essential for preparing for future environmental challenges. Thank you.